Welcome to another week in the Hubnut shed, and I'm very pleased for Daihatsu Darren. We've mentioned Daihatsu Darren many times. He has bought us lovely signs, he's bought us spare parts over the years, and now you're here to help us actually get Chevy the Charade back on the road. So huge thanks from us for helping out. We've managed to do a deal where we've sorted accommodation for the weekend, so a mutually beneficial relationship, hopefully. But Darren is just stripping little bits off, and then we're going to put the shock absorbers on, springs, and then get them back on the car and get it gone, because I've singly failed to do that for quite some time now. Poor Chevy has been sat up on axle stands seemingly forever. For those that don't know, we bought this car in November 2020, sorry. Used it for a bit. Miss Hubnut passed her driving test in this car. That was after we'd spent a year changing an engine. We take our time, we don't rush. And that it came off the road again because there was some clunking on the front end, and we had Desmond the Perodua Canary as a temporary fill-in. And so far that temporary fill-in has been with us almost 18 months. So it's time to crack on and get this car fixed and straightened out where it was driven into by our neighbour, lovingly, 2 weeks before Miss Hubnut's first driving test. So yeah, aim of the day, get this thing back on the road again. So let's get started. Right, it's a scary moment. Spring compressors onto the new shock, and get the top mount back on. We've got some lubrication on it because that was the dry one, I think. This passenger side we're on at the moment. Passenger side. Yeah, passenger side was the dry one. Yeah. It was a little bit dry, so hopefully this will improve matters. Hopefully this, along with the new steering rack, means the steering will actually want to self-center again, because it previously did not. So I know some of you European followers are probably thinking, that's not a Daihatsu Charade, that's a Quarry. But in the UK, it is a Daihatsu Charade. In Australia, a Daihatsu Charade, which is much the same thing. And the first one of these I ever drove was a three-door one of these in Tasmania, in Hobart, which is one of the loveliest places I've ever been to. And I guess it had an effect, because less than a year later I'd bought one. They're good little cars. Off with the clamps, and we can get one strut refitted. And there we go, one side is done. So we've got the new shock absorber in with a boot, actual boot on it as well. We've got some, because Hubnut cable ties being well employed, because that little bracket is not perfect. We may have to nab that off the spares car at some point. Put a new track rod end on as well. I'm sorry, this camera jumps around between all the different lenses in a very annoying manner. And the brakes are back on. New Hubnut, ready to be torqued once the car's back on the ground again. Looking good. But this was the easy side. The other side is unfortunately against the wall because I'm an idiot. Right, so we're just about to build up the next one, and I'm pleased I have actually got a matching pair. We didn't have a matching pair on the car when we dismantled it. One was oil, one was gas. These are oil and gas apparently, but I had to buy them separately. So I'm very glad they do in fact match from different suppliers, but the same ones. So the new boots, 70 quid the boots cost for the pair of them, but it does include the, you got the bump stop in the top there, which obviously form the boot around. So this is your top mount. All it is a couple of nylon bushes and a bit of lube, and one side was very dry, which we think was not helping with the stiff steering we had. Ideal world, yes, you'd replace absolutely everything, but there comes a point you've got to say that's enough expenditure for now. So it'll do. Probably recap the reason we're actually here and why Chevy has been on axle stands for a year. It's because of the steering rack. Here is the old steering rack, and it was rattling around like a good one. It's buried under all this stuff, but it's actually a manual rack. It's got column electric assist, so not a big job to change, but you do have to drop the entire subframe. So, but we've got one wheel back on, and we're almost about ready to get the second on, and then we can actually lower Chevy back to the ground for the first time in a very long time. Best part of a year, I should think. That's about how long it takes to do a job on this car with us, apparently. Well, it looks like someone forgot to pick the microphone up at this point, so we're going to walk around the car. We just connected the battery back up, And all important, will the dashboard say hello happy? This is one of the significant things about this car, and there it is. Hello happy. We don't know why it says it, but it's somehow so very charming, and is why we have a design dedicated to that phrase. But now we're going to try and give it a start. Too bad considering that lamp is not made at all. You can get a new kit for that, so we'll leave the front bumper on until we get that done. The access is so much better. Well, there she is. So one thing to really watch for here is there's a clock spring in this steering wheel to activate the airbag, and if you don't know where the middle is, it's kind of set for when this wheel is perfectly centre, so we don't know if it's been turned, if it's the wrong way, so we're kind of hoping that when we connect it up it'll all be all right. You can sometimes feel when it's getting to its level, and then you can back off the appropriate number of turns, but we're a little unsure on this one. So we're going to get the you can see the top of the rack there. Here's your steering column, and we've got a universal joint to connect the two. So slightly fingers crossed time. And then the other thing we've got to do is show me up on ramp so we can tighten the lower wishbone bolts, which I didn't want to do while the wheels were dangling. Right, let's have a quick game of why I shouldn't work on cars. If we look at the rear engine mounting there, there's the bolt stacked up. I don't know why it's stacked up. I don't know why I've had to shim it. But if you look over here, it's not actually going through the engine mounting. I don't know if that's actually showing you or not, but I've missed the hole, so that's not good. Yeah, it's really difficult to try and get it to focus on it. There we are. Yeah, there's the hole and there's the nut, so I've missed. So I think we'll correct that. So this is our Hello Happy design, which is available on t-shirts and mugs, and someone called Brian has bought a mug with this design on it today while we've been working on this car, so thanks Brian. Also, we found my favourite tool today. It was in Chemi the whole time. I've been missing this. It's a wonderful thing because it rotates, so you can, whatever angle you're at, you can kind of turn and ratchet away. It's lovely. Someone sent me that, so thank you whoever sent me that. I still love it. Right, so quick bit of time later, and now look, we've actually got the bolt going through the hole in the mount like it should. So that's why it's always a good idea to do a bit of a bolt check, especially if you've done something as major as this, because we've had everything apart. And yes, there is a leak on the back of the gearbox, and no, we're probably not going to fix it because you kind of have to dismantle the gearbox. So we'll just say that's fine. Actually, that's lovely. That's not so lovely. Rusty sump. Right, Chemi is down. What say you, we go for a little drive around the yard. Might have to do a bit of the old windscreen wash. Oh. No, we're not doing windscreen wash apparently. No wash going on, okay. We'll worry about that another time. So remember, the exhaust is blowing for good reason. Oh, front end feels a bit stiffer, I think, on these new dampers. Oh, so it's a good old clonk on the front there, isn't it? But the knock that we got constantly going through the steering rack seems to have stopped. Let's just demonstrate the impressive turning circle. Of course, the exhaust itself is probably knocking because it's not actually fully attached. So there we go. Shemi is back in the spot, and but a long way forward. So we've still got some things to do. I need to sort the exhaust out. I've actually got to sort the back end of the exhaust out as well, because I think I lost some fixings, because we kind of had to dismantle the exhaust to be able to drop the front subframe. But yeah, feeling much better. Know what needs to be done. We're so close to having this car back on the road. We've even got the washers working. The pump had just seized through lack of use, I think. But it still smokes, of course. But oddly, it doesn't tend to smoke during the very specific nature of an MOT test. But longer term, we're going to have to find something to do. I've got some potions which Kitch had tried at some point in here. I think in that box over there. Yeah, we've got some Amtech engine restore, which he found did work on his car for a bit. So we may give it a go, but ultimately probably going to need to do another engine swap. Marvellous. Daihatsu life. But yeah, I'm very, very energised, hugely grateful to Darren for coming all this way and helping get this little car going. And now I think we're going to go and enjoy a cup of tea, and then later on watch the Nuki fireworks, which will be splendid. So huge thanks for watching. I know a lot of you thinking, what is the point, just scrap it, but this car means a lot to Miss Hubnut and to me, to be honest. We both like it very much, and that's all that matters. Does it make economic sense? It's not your money, so whether it makes economic sense is our problem, not yours. But we certainly appreciate all the people who have plenty of love for the little car. It makes yeah, it makes us smile when a lot of people also get a bit of a hello happy buzz from Shemi the Charade. So thank you very much for watching. Hubnut Store if you want to buy some lovely merchandise. Christmas deadlines are looming, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Actually, we've got a bit more for you. I'm going to do 200 miles in the new Saab today, and things have already got off to a very bad start. Looks a bit damp. Is this Cabriolet life? Not my Volvo. Oh great, I've got 200 miles to do today. Yippee. There we go. There's no chance I'm getting a soggy bottom now, is there? So I think it's leaked in either around the window seal here or the roof, but it looks like there's a drain channel there. I wonder if I need to check if those drains are clear. It could be leaking through the roof itself. That's entirely possible. It might need proofing, but at the moment it's towel, and I've got the heater going full pelt to try and dry things out. I was going to have the roof off for a bit in the hope that might help, but as you can see, it's raining again. So far it has rained every single day of Cabriolet ownership. Marvellous, but at least my wipers are good. Hey, I have to turn that heater down. That's ferocious, absolutely killing me. I'm going to pop some lights on because it's a bit gloomy in the shadows, but nonetheless there is strong sunlight around as well, so it's sexy flip-ups time, because I appear to have lost my prescription sunglasses again. So at least now I'm prepped and ready for any situation. But yeah, I've managed to adjust the steering wheel. I've now got the steering wheel where I want it, nice and low, and yeah, we're good to go. You can see it. There are a few clonks going on, which I'm hoping are drop links. So we'll keep that situation monitored. But 200 miles to do today. A good shakedown run for the Saab. I did take it out for a drive just the other day, just to put some miles on it. And yeah, I generally do like the way it drives. I guess the big question is, am I going to get a soggy bottom? So place your bets now. I'm so cool. I am so cool in my Saab Cabrio with my flip-ups. Yeah, baby. Well, it had to be done, folks. It stopped raining for a bit. Sky is blue. Got to go full convertible, haven't we? And I'm not promising to do the entire journey without the roof, because I've no idea what it's like at motorway speeds. There is no wind deflector, but oh yeah, now I'm proper British. I don't know what temperature is. What does car think temperature is? 9 degrees today. So I'll turn the heater back up again and hope for the best. Did I bring a coat? Did I, heck? Oh, by the way, this is a linear spec and it's the 1.8T. This is your base model, apparently. So you still got air conditioning back when it worked, when the car was new, but no cruise control or many other toys. But I quite like the seats. It's kind of half leather. I don't really like leather, so I can put up with a bit of it. But some lumbar adjustment would be nice. It feels like I'm going to get backache at the end of today, but we'll see whether I actually do or not. I'm not sure, in all honesty, how much longer I can drive without the roof on, because it's lovely. It just makes you feel like you're a bit more a part of the countryside, but it is quite cold. I really should have bought a coat, but I don't like driving in a coat, so I'll put up with it a little longer. We're approaching Carmarthen. Well, we're still a little way from Carmarthen, and I just want to see what it feels like at 70 miles an hour. We've got to get to Carmarthen before we encounter anything as radical as a dual carriageway. But we're doing, at the moment, it reckons 31.9 mpg. I reset the trips when we left home, so we'll see if we'll see what the end figure ends up being. I'm thinking of keeping my speed down a bit on the motorway. I like to cruise at like 60, 62. Yeah, how good can it be? Let's find out. Of course, you love the visibility, because with the roof down, your visibility is just absolutely excellent. I haven't got the windows down just to reduce the buffeting somewhat. Exhaust is quite boomy, but the gear changes are super smooth. I know nothing about this gearbox, so I must find out who actually makes it, but it is beautifully smooth. The only thing I don't love is when you're coming down a hill, it will downshift. So coming down a big hill at 60 mile an hour, it sort of downshifts, so the engine's screaming. But I guess it does save a bit of wear on the brakes, is the point. Conversely, it seems to go into a freewheel sometimes. It's just done that now, I think. Doing sort of 40 miles an hour behind slow moving traffic. The engine speed has just gone down to idle, so I think we're actually just freewheeling along. So intriguing gearbox. The other interesting thing is many years ago, when I was still working on Classic Car Weekly, our sister title was Car Mechanics magazine, and they had a Saab 9.5 low pressure turbo automatic, and I remember hating that. It just never seemed to respond how I wanted it to. And I'm thinking, is this the same engine? That 9.5 was about that sort of era. Is it the same gearbox even? It's a different selector. But yeah, I don't know. I need to look into these things, because it might just be that I've changed and now I'm much more readily accepting of an automatic. That car was the first car where I accidentally hit the brake pedal with my left foot. We were in a queue at the Goodwood Revival, and yeah, that was not my finest moment. We stopped very quickly indeed. I think I've done that twice in my entire motoring life, and it's a shock both times. We have reached Carmarthen and the dual carriageway. Just before we get started, a quick reminder, I will not be at the NEC Classic Motor Show this year, having a year off. Steph's going to be there with ADO Restoration, the company she works for, but I'm having a rest, and I think Matt Furious is as well. So we'll catch you another time, but here we go. That's 70 miles an hour. It actually feels pretty pleasant. It's just a little bit too cold. So I think I am going to put the roof back on, because I've got about another hour and a half of this. And I'm already losing the feeling in my hands. Despite having the vents aimed there, it's just blowing all the temperature away. So I think I'm going to concede defeat and put the roof back on. But that's not bad, is it? 70 miles an hour. It's a bit of wind noise, but even with a wind deflector, it's pretty nice. Well, there we go. Roof back on. Going to continue on my way. Soggy bottom report. I think it's okay, but I'm not sure I'm really going to know until I get to Journey's End. But on we go. Oh, it's a lot warmer now. My hands are very, very cold indeed. Should have bought me gloves. Well, I don't know if you can see from there or not, but computer reckons we're doing 40 mpg. We've been cruising along, pretty much sticking to indicated 65. I imagine that's probably 62 miles an hour cruise speed. Very, very pleasant. And oh, it's just dropped back to 39.9 because we had to go up a slight gradient. It'll be very interesting to fill up at some point, and we'll see whether those figures match up to reality. The Velsatis was grossly overestimating economy, whereas Betty, my Australian Ford, tends to underestimate and is actually better than the computer says. So we'll find out with this one. Well, I don't know how much to believe it, but there we are. That's after 185 miles and we still haven't used half a tank of fuel yet. Impressive. Someone tipped me off about this. Look, there's a hidden extra cup holder in there, so it's not a very good one, but nonetheless, in addition to this beauty. Wow. Something I must discuss is the transmission, because this is the same Aisin Warner AF55, I think it is, as used in the Renault Velsatis. So why does this work 100% smoothly and the Velsatis pair I drove very much not? This is not the most serviced car I've ever owned, yet this seems to work absolutely bob on. I'm not sure if it does the whole neutral drop thing, so we'll go for drive, stop. That is not in neutral. That is very much still driving. You can hear the engine trying to push through the brakes. But I have driven one of these as a diesel and it did do the neutral drop. So is that a production change? Did they change that? I don't know. But this is super smooth. Absolutely perfect. Never catch it out. It is a lovely transmission. And the same unit fitted to the Volvo S60 I drove quite recently, I believe. And we're home. This is now the next day. So this video has been my weekend in two very different cars. But yeah, the Saab, really good at eating up the miles. Mini Hubnut generally likes it. He likes the comfort very much. He had a good old snooze on the way back home yesterday. He likes the various creaks and clonks rather less. There's even a creak from the brakes, which I think is front calipers. I think they're notorious for it. The locking is still misbehaving, but you can just pull the key out of the fob and manually lock the passenger door. I think it needs an actuator in that door. That door seems to be the problem. And because it's not detecting that door locking, it's not then locking the rest of the car. So I'm having to do it all manually. Bit of a pain, but you wonder how far to go with this. There's a lot of things it could be. The low battery and the siren is a typical thing. The other day the alarm did just go off for no reason whatsoever. That is very common with these GM alarm systems. Absolute pain. That Omega I had, that was always just random alarms, to the point I just left it unlocked everywhere. This doesn't seem so bad, but we'll see how it does. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience. We're now 320 miles in. Fuel economy, the dash display reckons 40 mpg, and it's not grossly inaccurate. We worked it out yesterday on a fill, 37 mpg, which doesn't strike me as too bad for a 2-litre automatic, but it's quite hefty and not entirely aerodynamic, especially with the roof off. So far, so pleased. There's a lot to be getting on with potentially, but then this wasn't meant to be a project. This was meant to be a live with its foibles and just use it for a bit. It may well find itself for sale again because something else is kind of being lined up, but it's not guaranteed yet, so we'll see. For now, I'm just going to keep driving it and enjoying it and wishing the stereo worked. Might have to get my somewhere I've got an FM transmitter. Maybe it'll pick that up and that'll work. I don't know. But otherwise, yeah, thank you for watching this Saab stroke Daihatsu video, and we'll see you soon with more great content and plenty of road tests still to come. Electric cars, not electric cars, a proper mix, because that represents what I like. It's the only reason I make videos about cars. It's the cars I like and want to drive. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Farewell. I think some are questioning this bulb position, but it's actually all right, you know.